Hello everyone, in this video I will talk about Canada study permit. This will be a step-by-step guide on how to fill your study permit correctly. After watching this video, you will be able to fill your study permit correctly and you will know which documents you need. Let us get started. The first thing that I want you to do is that I want you to type student permit IRCC on Google and click on this link. This will take you directly to this page. Over here I want you to scroll down. So this question is asking you where are you applying from. So if you're applying from outside Canada, select the first one. Let us assume I'm applying from India, so I'll select outside Canada. So we are going to be applying online, so let us click on online, scroll down. So we are going to be applying using this link. So this is more AI driven. We are going to be applying using IRCC Portal. So earlier there was a lot of PDF edits that we used to do, but now we can apply using this link and it will make our work easier. So I want you to click on this link. So if you already have an account at IRCC Portal, you can directly sign in. If you don't have an account at IRCC Portal, follow me, click on sign up and apply. Let us give your email address over here. So once you give your email address, you will get an invitation code. Now we can click on get invitation code. Now that we have got our invitation code, we are going to copy this. Click on copy to clipboard and we'll click on continue to the IRCC portal sign up page. So the code that we have copied, we are going to be pasting it over here and we are going to be providing our email address. Create your password. Make sure that you follow these rules. So this section is for your surname and this section is your given name and your surname is your family name. So now we need to give our telephone number. So if you are outside Canada, select other and give your first give your country code and then give your telephone number. Click on sign up. You may have received a verification code on your email. Let us check. So the email would be something like this. Click on this code, copy it, come back over here and paste it. So now we can confirm it. Now use the same email address and the password that we have created just now and sign in. Read the terms and condition, accept it. So now on this IRCC portal account, we have the option for visitor visa, transit visa, study permit. Since we are applying for study permit, we will be clicking on study permit. Scroll down. Remember that once you start your application, you need to finish it within 60 days. Acknowledge it, start application. So this question is asking you that are you applying for more than one person at the same time? Right now I'm applying just for myself, therefore no. But if you want, you can apply for yourself, your spouse, your children. Then in that case, you will need to click on yes and then you may select family over here and then continue. But since for the purpose of this video, I'm applying just for myself, I'll be selecting no. Save and continue. So we are applying for a study permit. So I'll be selecting I want to apply for a study permit. So what exactly do you want to apply for? A study permit to study for more than 6 months. So this is a very important question. Tell us more about what you will do in Canada, include dates. I have written this for you, but you should write it according to your own plans. So if you want to do your diploma, you can mention if you are going to do 2 years diploma, and you can mention your university and you can mention your start date and end date. So now the next question is that when will you enter Canada? So since my program is going to be starting on 1st September, let us say I want to settle down and I want to reach in August. So let us say that I will leave in July. These are approximate date. You can come earlier, you can come later, it is fine. The next thing is UCI. Remember, UCI is optional, so if you have it, you can give it. If not, that is okay. Click on save and continue. So these are your mandatory documents that you should have. Don't worry, I'll talk about them in detail. And these are the questions that you will need to answer. So make sure that you have them ready. Click on continue to application. Are you applying on behalf of someone else? No, I am not applying on behalf of someone else. If you are applying on behalf of someone else, for example your family, you can select yes. Click on save and continue. So this question, the information that they are asking is of the applicant, and I am the applicant in this case, so I will be giving my own information over here. You should give your own information. So your surname should come over here. So I'll be giving my surname, my given name. Give your date of birth. Select your gender. Continue. Now this information is about your travel document. So I will be traveling with passport. So I have selected passport. My passport will be regular in nature. So for most of us it will be regular, but if your passport falls into any of these categories, you can select them. But for me it will be regular. I am an Indian. My passport is from India. I will be selecting India. My nationality on my passport is India. Give your passport number. Let us say this is my number. And date of issue of your passport, this would be mentioned on your passport. You can find it from there. Date of expiry will also be mentioned on your passport. So read these questions. So the first one is asking you, do you have a valid green card? No, I don't have it. If you have it, select yes. So have you held a Canadian visitor visa in past 10 years? No, I have not. Do you have US non-immigrant visa? No, I don't have it. And if you are traveling to Canada by air? Yes, I'm traveling to Canada by air. So according to your own situation, you should answer these questions. Click on save and continue. This is about your citizenship and your place of birth. So I was born in India, so I'll select India. I was born in Kolkata, and this is asking, do you have dual citizenship? So no, I don't have dual citizenship. I am citizen of India. I am citizen since birth, so I'll select this part, and this will automatically populate. This is my birth date that we have entered previously. Click on save and continue. Yes, I have a valid national identity document. So if you have a valid national identity document, you can select yes. If not, you can select no. You can give your Aadhaar card number if you are Indian, and you can also give your passport number. So let us say I am giving my Aadhaar. Date of issue, you can find it on your Aadhaar enrollment. Also, you can find it on e-Aadhaar if you are Indian. And this was issued in India. I'll click on save and continue. So this question is asking me, have I used any other name in the past? No, I have never used any name in the past. But if you have used any name in the past, you should select yes and then click on add and give details. So if you are a woman and you change your name after marriage, you should select this and you should give your previous name over here. I will be selecting no. Save and continue. Here we need to give our residential address. I am Indian. I am giving my home address. So this question is asking if your mailing address is same as your residential address. Yes, my mailing address is same as my residential address. So your mailing address is the address where if they want to send you any documents, they will send you on that address. Now this question is asking you about the countries that you have lived for more than 6 months in the past 5 years. Remember that if you have visited any country for 6 days or 5 days, that doesn't count. You shouldn't mention it over here. This is asking you about your residence, not travel. So click on add and say I have just lived in India. So I'll select India. I am a citizen from. So I have lived there since birth. That is why I'm giving 1996. This is where I currently live. So I'll save it. But if you have lived in multiple countries for more than 6 months, you can again click on add and then you can give details again. Scroll down, save and continue. So this is about your biometrics. If you have given your biometrics in the past 10 years, you don't have to give it again. But if you have not given your biometrics, select no. Save and continue. This question is asking you about your intended study in Canada. So if you have a letter of acceptance from a designated learning institution, select this one. Since you are applying for this study permit, I assume that you already have a letter of acceptance from a DLI, designated learning institution. So click on this. Most probably none of the above apply to me, but you can read it. So what is your level of study that you are going to study over there? So in my case, let us assume that it will be master's degree. So this will be about DLI number. So you need to check your school number in the DLI list. I'll show you how to do that. I want you to type DLI list on Google and click on this link. Scroll down, click on this link. You should find your school or university over here and you then copy this, come back to application, paste it over here, search it. If you paste your DLI number over here, it will automatically give you option for your school name and the address of your school, and the address will be automatically populated if you select the address over here. And if you want, you can manually input the address. IRCC is AI driven, so here is one aspect of AI that we are witnessing. Scroll down, field of study, let us say it is computing IT. This part is optional. So remember that I told you that the date that we are providing for our university over there. So over here you need to provide the date from when till when you will be studying. So it will be 2024. So it will be from 1st September 2024 till 1st June 2026. Save and continue. So this is about your education cost. So this is a very important section because here you need to provide your tuition fee, your living expense, food and lodging, and any other expense that you are going to incur. This is optional. So this is for all years of study. So if say your tuition fees is 25,000 Canadian dollars, put it over here. Your lodging, your live food and lodging expense could be somewhere around $8,000 to $10,000. Let us say 10,000, and let us say other is 5,000. So this is your total expense in Canada. So you need to have source of fund from which you can finance your stay in Canada. Over here 40,000 will be your expenses. So let's say I have 45,000 funds available for my stay in Canada. Your available fund should be more than the expenses that you are going to make for the next 1 year for your tuition, lodging and food, and other expenses. Myself or my parents will bear the expenses. So this question is about a scholarship basically. So if you are receiving any financial support, no. If you are receiving a scholarship, in that case you can show a slightly less fund and that should be okay. Save and continue. So this is about co-op. This is basically for work or internship. So do you want to apply for a work permit to participate in a co-op program? So if your program has a co-op in it, then you should select yes, and you will get a letter also. So what type of work permit are you applying for? Let us assume it is post-secondary co-op work permit. Click on save and continue. Now this question is about GIC investment. I will suggest that you make this investment of $10,000 because this will suggest to the visa officer that you have made the commitment and that you can use this fund to finance your stay in Canada. So if you want, you can select yes. So if you select yes to the first question, these are the follow-up question to the first question. So if you have made a GIC investment of $10,000, that will show to the visa officer that you have the commitment, and then they will ask you if you have paid your first year tuition fees, your school fees. But if you have not made a GIC investment, that is okay. You can select no, and in that case your profile should be good first, and second, the documents that you are uploading should be good. Your letter of explanation, the statement of purpose should be good, and you will still be able to get visa. That is not an issue. So let us say for the purpose of this video we have not made a GIC investment and we are applying for a study permit. So I'll be selecting no, and now we'll click on save and continue. Scroll down. So this question is asking you about your post-secondary school. So if any education that you have done at post-secondary level, you should mention it over here. So I'm going to mention my bachelor's. So I have filled this for you. You need to mention your university name, from which time till which time you have studied that course. It was a bachelor's degree, field of study, and mention the address. Save it. Scroll down. Now this question is asking you about your work activity history. So have you served in military militia? No. And give details of all your employment and activities since the age of 18. So for the purpose of this video, let's assume I was born in 1996. So I was 18 years in 2014. So I need to mention my experience, work experience after 2014. So you can calculate when you reached 18 and then you can add your work experience. So we'll click on add. So I reached 18 in 2014. So I'll select 2014. I'll select ongoing. And if I have not been working anywhere, I'll select unemployed. So there are this list. You can check if you have been working in finance. You can select this business finance. Similarly, if you were in sales, select sales. Else select unemployed. Select your country. Select your city. Give your street address, your country, and save it. Save and continue. So now this question is asking you about your travel history. So if you have traveled to any country, you should mention it over here. So I have not traveled to any country, let us assume, so I'll select no. But if you have traveled anywhere, select yes and add it. So from when till when you were in that country, mention the country, say UAE or UK, purpose of travel. So I will be selecting no, but you can select yes and add it. Even if you were in that country for 2 days, that is okay. You still need to mention it in this section because it is of travel history. Save and continue. This is asking you about if you worked in Canada without authorization, if you attended a school without authorization. If you did, select yes, else no. So this is about visa refusal. If you ever have had any visa refusal in the past for any country, mention yes and give details. So it should be okay, you can give details, but if you never have any visa refusal, select no, save and continue. This is about criminality and security. If you have never committed any crime, select no. Similarly, this is also for criminal offense for alcohol, criminal offense, convicted for any criminal offense. So most of us it will be no, but you should read this carefully and answer it honestly. Save and continue. Another criminal and security related questions. This question is about your association with any political party that has engaged in violence. No. Ill treatment of prisoners, no. Again, answer it honestly. Save and continue. So if you had your medical examination done, select yes. Provide the medical examination number. If not, select no. I will be selecting no, but I'll again reiterate that you should have your medical examination done before you apply for study permit, because in that case medical examination takes 10 to 12 days, so it is better to have it done before you apply. Click on save and continue. This is your medical background related questions about tuberculosis, so answer it honestly. Save and continue. More medical background related question: dialysis, no. Drug or alcohol addiction, no. Mental health condition that could result in you being threat to others and yourself, no. Diagnosed with syphilis, no. Save and continue. I am single, I will be selecting single. You should read this and select accordingly. Save and continue. I don't have any children, I will be selecting no. If you have children, select yes and give details. Save and continue. Over here you need to mention information about your parents, so click on add and give your parents detail over here. For your reference, let us say I have added my parents information, so you can add your father's surname, given name, relationship, date of birth, occupation. So for your mother you can write homemaker over here. So I'm not adding for my mother, but you understand how it works now. Click on save and continue. The next two question is about which language I can communicate in English, which language I want them to use to communicate with me, English. Save and continue. Give your email address. Save and continue. Give your telephone number. Cellular. Other, if you have Canadian number you can give your Canadian number. If not, select other. You will have to give your country code, telephone number. Save it. Save and continue. Now in this section you can click on expand all and carefully review all the details that you have given. It is very important that you make sure that the details that you have provided are correct. Once you are sure that your details are correct, scroll down, save and continue. Now this section is about documents. Over here you have this acceptable file formats, which include PDF. So over here they have mentioned that if your file is bigger than 2 MB, you can follow this step. You can go to website help center and you can go to Canada CA Immigration and reduce size file, search for or add multiple files. Now I'm sure that you all must be waiting for this moment, because we are going to talk about documents. These are your supporting documents that you need to provide. Your transcript. This is your educational document and you need to upload your transcript over here. You need to upload your letter of acceptance over here. Your letter of acceptance is your offer letter from your university. You need to upload your official letter from school. So this is basically about your co-op or your work. So if your program has co-op and work, you should upload that letter also over here. Next document is your national identity document. This is your say passport, or for Indians this could be your Aadhaar card, your passport. Next is your passport, upload it. Next is your funds. So I'll talk about funds in detail. Bear with me for another few minutes. And consent personal information, and if you have any additional documents you need to provide it over here. So this is a brief of the list of the documents that you need to upload. Now let me tell you in little bit more detail about the documents. So this letter of explanation you can upload as additional document. You can mention the reason why you have selected for that program, your future. You can give the reason that establish some logical connection between your background and the course that you're going to pursue. And you can have for your conclusion. Make sure that in this letter of explanation you suggest to them that you have an intention to coming back to your home country after you complete your education in Canada. And in this letter of explanation you can talk about other achievements of yours as well. So this is also called a statement of purpose. These are not mandatory documents, but it is strongly suggested that you provide these documents because it will provide value to your application. So you can upload both these documents as additional document. You can upload your medical exam information sheet as also additional document. You can upload your resume as your additional document. And again, you all have a separate section for transcript, so you can upload your transcript there. You have a separate section for proof of fund. You can upload your proof of fund there. I'll talk about proof of fund in detail. And you have a separate section for letter of acceptance. You can upload your letter of acceptance there. And again, letter from your college regarding co-op. So we have already seen that there is a separate section for this also. Now let me talk about proof of fund. So this is very important. So they are basically a source of fund from where you are getting funds and your expenses. Your expenses are basically your tuition fees, your food and lodging, and other expenses. Ideally, your source of fund, the funds that are available to you, should be higher than the expenses that you are going to incur in Canada. So you need to mention about your source of fund. You need to mention if you have made GIC investment, you need to attach a receipt for that. If you have taken loan from bank, that is your source of fund. You can attach the letter from bank. You should also attach your bank statement. You can have multiple bank statement, that is all right. You should attach it. Make sure that your bank statement should be stable. A one-time huge investment in your bank account and the rest of the month nothing, no activity in your bank account will suggest to the visa officer that there is something happening in your bank account and the fund is not genuine. In that case, he may reject your visa. So this is very important. I have made a separate video on bank statement. Go check my video. You will understand about how bank statement works. You can have an affidavit, you can prepare an affidavit. It will have it mentioned that your father will take care of your financial needs, and you can attach your father payslip. You can attach your father income tax return. If your father has any fixed deposits, you can attach your father fixed deposit, and if your father has any investment, you can attach your father investment. Everything that I've talked about, you can have it in one PDF, but have one summary as well. So in this summary, for example, you can mention how much bank statement you have, and then there could be 10 pages followed by it for the bank statement. It could be for multiple banks also. Then also make a summary about each bank, and then there should be total bank balance. Similarly, for other things as well, you can have from one summary about source of fund, and you can mention, for example, from loan, this is the amount that I'm getting, bank balance, this is the amount I'm getting, investment, this is the amount that I could get, and scholarship, if I'm getting any, have that mention as well. And that could be your that could be the summary of your source of fund. So this is how and you can mention about your expense also. So this would be my tuition fees, this could be my hotel and lodging fees, other fee expenses, and your source of fund ideally should be higher than your expenses. So this is all that I wanted to talk on this video, but I'm going to make another video on Canada study visa process, and I'm going to discuss again in detail about what you need to do. So I'm sure that after watching this video, you will be able to fill this application without the help of any consultant. And if you have any questions, you can reach out to me on my Instagram. You can comment on YouTube. I'm going to answer. Thank you so much.